Good morning, Dandelion. Oops. Good morning, Dandelions. Welcome to another Lulu Soul stream. I'm Lulu Soul. You have Autopilot playing in the background. We're trying out some of his music, which is on point. And this morning, we're going to work on redrawing something that I drew a few years ago. This used to be my best art, my best piece. And I want to see how much I've grown as an artist. So yeah, let's get started. Let's try a few different poses to start off. They're definitely options. Oops. Hmm. Hmm. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to find a pose that I like. And I do this by looking at a bunch of different poses and kind of putting together something that I want. Hmm. what I'm doing right now is I'm struggling a little bit to get the right pose that I want. So I know this is super entertaining.
Imagine finding the perfect song on your first try. That's the feeling of using Dropbox. Dropbox helps you organize the things that matter most, so they're right there when you need them.
Oh, I guess we're listening to a commercial. Cool.
Up with Spotify to organize your playlist, letting you get back to doing what you love, discovering new music. For every moment worth saving, there's a song worth hearing. Tap now to organize your library.
Okay, so you won't believe this. I mean, I sure couldn't.
All right. Not gonna do that.
Good luck with the future in-law.
At the time when I was drawing this character originally, I did a lot of stiff poses. A lot of facing straight forward. And part of me kind of wants to stay true to that for this one. Merge them down. Now I can move them. There we go. Oh, this is getting some Yu-Gi-Oh vibes. You draw that drawing, sis? Hi, good morning. Good to see you. Good morning. I hope anyone watching is doing well this morning. We are currently in day 2 of my daughter being back to school. It's still terrifying. Still terrifying. Oops. No. A little thick boy. That's better. That does not have the desired effect at all. Trying to get the right thickness first. I feel like mine. I think that's what it is. Definitely want this to be a little bit thicker. Focus on the head shape first. The face ends up being like right around in here. Oh, yikes. I also need to remember that boobs are like right here. I keep wanting to draw them like up here, and that's not where they are. It's not where they go at all. It's not what boobs are. Oh, the thumb is facing out when it's down. Thumb is facing out. I don't know. I don't know if this like discovery process is really all that interesting for you guys. This would be around the belly button. So like the belly button's right here. So the torso. That's why her legs look so weird. There we go. So like I've got her thighs like all the way up here. It's not where they go. All right, I need to. Whoops. I always do that. Always do that. I'm going to merge down. Yes, apply transformation. I'm going to merge down. Now I'm going to make it smaller. There we go. Okay, now her legs are a little too long. Like her hips are going to be like here. Right? Here are her knees. And this is her feet. Like, yo! That was a spider on my desk. He needs to go on long. Ooh, that was kind of scary. So I don't mind spiders. I really don't. I just don't want them on me. There we go. And I realize I'm doing a lot of sketching, but that's what I do in the beginning. A lot of my artwork is a lot of sketching, a lot of refining. There we go. And her ear is gonna be... And I remember when I first drew this, I was nervous because I didn't want to inadvertently draw something that I shouldn't be drawing in regards to the cultures inspired by the Water Tribe. And I'm still worried about that. I don't think I have. Like, I think the feathers in specific concerned me. But one, I don't think, I don't know. It's not my intention. I looked up art on the show for inspiration when I originally did for costuming. She's a waterbender. Yeah. One thing I didn't take into consideration is like which time period is this waterbender in? Because like if it's in the original series, she might not match. Do I want her to be in the original? Like I like the original timeline or the original story a lot better. I'm not a big fan of Legend of Korra, but I do like the world that Legend of Korra was kind of creating, so if that's the case, I think she would go for more of a off the cuff. Gonna get rid of those tassels. I do think I want to make her a little more updated. Yeah, I think I like the idea of her being a little more modern. I cut her shoes off. That's fine. Whoopsie. Why is it? Why are we not? There we go. That was a little weird. For platform-esque shoes. There we go. Now we're kind of getting though I think Bridge down again. Edit, transform, retransform. Yeah, I think that's more accurate. Yes, yes. All right, and now we can go in and we can begin inking. Yo-ho, yo-ho-ho, and a bottle of big. Sketch layer. But this sketch layer is going to be more the fine lines. Then I'll go in, I'll probably ink it again. So yes, this is done kind of in ink format. I think she just likes feathers. Or maybe they're leaves. Maybe they're not feathers at all. Maybe they're leaves. She likes leaves. I like leaves. Maybe that's what's going on with her hair. They're leaves. It is autumn after all. There you go. So since we're drawing a waterbender, figured I would talk a little bit about the franchise as a whole. I loved the original series. And to be fair, when Korra first came out, Legend of Korra, which is the sequel to Avatar: The Last Airbender, for anyone who might not know, when it first came out, I was super excited. You guys, Season 1 was just, it was everything that I wanted and more. Like, it wasn't the same cast, of course, couldn't really be. This was a different adventure, and I was okay with that. We had this brand new world to explore. Very steampunky, which I was super into at the time. And it was just, oh, I loved it. I loved Korra's character. I loved how she grew in season 1. Still ship her with Bolin. I think that would have been a much better like twist or whatever. And honestly, would have felt more true to how the original series went, but it's not what they did, which was fine. I loved that Asami didn't end up being like super evil or whatever. That was neat. And I'm not going to say too much plot-wise because, one, I don't remember a lot of it, and two, maybe there's someone who hasn't watched it at this point that has seen the series. But then season 1 ended. And from what I've gathered about what happened with season 1, like I remember throughout the entire broadcasting, like episode by episode, we didn't know if there was even going to be another episode. The writers didn't know if they were going to get a second season. And so because of that, when we got to the end of season 1, it felt very final in a way. Like this was a wrapped up adventure. A lot of growth had happened. Girl got the guy, whatever. And then we were greenlit for season 2. Which was like, all right, let's go. We got it. Let's go. Let's do this. And then season 2 came out. And all of Korra's character development, like all of it, gone. She might as well have been back in episode 1 of season 1. And to top it all off, since, you had the great, relationship and whatever from season 1, well, since that, can't have characters be in a happy, healthy relationship, that wouldn't work. So they kind of got rid of that. And added a conflict with this parental figure, her dad, that there's no investment in that because we haven't seen her interacting with her parent. Like the last time we see Korra's parents, they're super proud of the fact that she's the Avatar, and then they ship her off to the Water Tribe or the White Lotus. They're like, all right, cool, see you later, honey. Have a happy first, multiple years of school. And then all of a sudden, she's interacting with her parents again. And she has, I don't know, it's really weird. It was disjointed. It didn't match up. She almost felt like a completely different character to me. And yeah, I know I said that, all of her character development was gone, but she also did feel like a completely different character. I don't know. And then they did some weird stuff with her memory, and I was like, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. And then we went into, I want to say it was season 3, if I'm right. And Airbenders were back. Or maybe the Airbenders came back in season 2. I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, I'm having trouble remembering. But there were Airbenders again. And the whole idea was to go and define all of the people that were Airbenders to teach them airbending. And I'm like, yes, this is it. This is it. This is when they're going to start traveling and we're going to learn more about the culture or how the culture has changed in this world, and you're going to have the characters interacting with their environment, and we seem to have a centralized bad guy that we're going to go after, and like this is when the adventure is going to take off, and I'm going to see all of the things I loved about the original show, and it's going to be an adventure. And they look for the other airbenders for like 3 episodes, maybe. And then they get shoved off to side plot land. And have a little bit to do with the story, but also not really. And I'm like, what? But my cabbages. You know, like, I felt like all of my cabbages had been destroyed. I don't really remember. I think in one of the seasons, the big bad guy is Korra's uncle, which again, very little investment in that because season 1 had no uncle, or really parents. Her family bonds that we learn about all come from Tenzin. But that's kind of like ignored after season 1. Right? I mean, in like the original show, which, you know I'm constantly comparing it to, but like you have a similar conflict between Katara and her dad, but her dad is mentioned multiple times through the series. Like, he's off fighting the war, they miss him, that they haven't seen him in a long time. And then they finally see them again. And yeah, there's this conflict that totally makes sense between Katara and her dad because it makes sense. Like, it fits. It feels very organic. Like, you can feel Katara's frustration and pain and anger and resentment, and in Legend of Korra, it just feels like a salty teenager rebelling against her family because she's a salty teen, which she is. She is a salty teenager, and that might have been part of the point. Because for all of the struggles that that Korra has to go through, she doesn't really face any kind of conflict. Like, by the time Katara even, like, not Katara, I keep doing it. By the time Korra even, like, wanders into the real world, so to speak, goes to the city, like, at that point in Aang's life, he had stopped a literal dictator. So Aang had a lot of growth, forced growth, that that Korra just didn't have to deal with. And I think that might have been part of the point. To showcase that, I guess. That Aang might have been more like Korra had he not, become frozen in the ice for 100 years. I don't know. I also really wanted Aang to, like, you know, have one of those periods where Korra kind of visits her past self and talks to Aang, and Aang is like, baby girl, what are you doing? What are you doing? And like gives her the sage advice thing, and that didn't really happen either. Like, I think that would have been a really sweet, like, throwback to the original cast, because, like, you could have Aang, you know, give Korra advice, and then be like, oh yeah, by the way, tell my wife I said hi, you know? And, like, have Korra talk to Katara about this, and, you know, she could be like, yeah, that sounds like him. Did he make a bad joke? I bet he made a bad joke. He was really bad at that. Or have Aang teach Korra as part of, as she's, like, slowly figuring out her airbending powers. To show that airbending can be fun. The musical trick with the thing that Aang really liked. Like, so much potential wasted. But I think the point was they wanted to do a deeper story, maybe? An older story? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they were trying to do. I know it was rushed. I know it was rushed. I think my favorite part of the second series, if I had a favorite part, was they went into, like, the history of how the Avatar came to exist. That was nice. Even though the art was completely different, none of the characters were the same, that felt like the original series. And I think that's the struggle. And to be fair, if Legend of Korra hadn't had anything to do with the Avatar name, I don't think I would have been as critical. To, like, if it had come first, if I had seen it first, I think I would have liked it a little bit more than I do. Or if I'd even been younger, which is weird to say because the characters are way older in Legend of Korra than in The Last Airbender. And then, of course, we have the Dragon Prince, which is not part of the Avatar world at all. But boy, does it feel like it belongs. Animation is different. Yes. World is different. Yes, characters are different, obviously. But the humor is there. And the heart is there. There's even one point, so the voice actor who actually plays the main character in The Dragon Prince is the same actor that voices Sokka in The Last Airbender. And there's a scene in I think it's season 1 of The Dragon Prince, where he's looking at a staff or something, and the staff is like a very unique shape. And the main character is like, this looks so familiar. Like it'll always come back. And it's a boomerang shape. And that was wonderful. And I think the Dragon Prince actually will should have a new season at some point. So that's exciting in itself. And if I wanted to go into a little bit of backstory behind the artwork that I'm making itself. Yikes. So when I was first getting back into art, right? Because I had a period of several years where I'd stopped drawing. I went from drawing every day, or most days, to I just didn't anymore. Weird, right? Who does that? And I had started getting back into it, actually, thanks to Inktober. And at at some point I had drawn the reference picture that you see off to the side. And I remember looking at it and going, this might be the best piece of art that I've ever drawn. This is it. This is right now the best that I can do. And I remember also thinking, I can't wait until I can look at this and instead of going, this is the best I can do, I go, wow, my art used to suck. Not because it actually sucked. I'm still really proud of this artwork. But it's not the best I can do anymore. And that's pretty powerful, you know? The fact that something that used to be the absolute best I can do if I were to draw it today, I would be upset. It would be a bad art day for me. And I'm redrawing it. I want to see how much I've grown as an artist. Over, like, am I there yet? You know? Is this no longer the best I can do? You know? And this might be something that I do more often, like maybe every few months. I'll draw it again. I know there's another artist drawing with waffles. I don't know if she's done it recently, but for a few years now, she would occasionally redraw an fan art of Rapunzel that she had made. And it was interesting to see how just her art style had changed over the years. There we go. Right. I am going to start coloring now. Yep. I remember specifically wanting her hair brown. I don't remember why. It was just, at the time, important to me that her hair be brown. No. Yes. Hmm. Whoa. All right, so what we're going to do here is I'm actually going to take a break for now. I will be coming back in maybe an hour or so after I have had some lunch, maybe done some chores. Kind of testing around different time periods for streaming on YouTube. Might come back with some video games, who knows? Probably art though. It's probably going to be art. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll be back in a bit.